What's up guys, it's Will back again, and today's review is Almost Famous. Almost Famous is a 2000 drama film that was written and directed by Cameron Crowe and was first requested to me by AV1138 back on my Enemy review that I released back on the 26th of September. So Almost Famous takes place in the year 1973 and accounts the journey of 15-year-old standout writer and rock and roll enthusiast William Miller as he travels across the country with a band called Stillwater. William begins traveling with Stillwater in order to interview and take notes on the band during their ongoing tour for a story that's set to be featured in Rolling Stone magazine that William has been hired to write. Eventually, William forms a deep bond with not just the band members themselves, but also their entourage as well, primarily a group of women referred to as the Band-Aids, led by Kate Hudson's character Penny Lane, and the rest of the film is spent with William as he tries to write his story and the Stillwater band and their entourage as everyone involved in the Almost Famous tour grows and learns alongside one another as they live a life of rock and roll. Okay, so I knew absolutely nothing about this movie going in. I hadn't ever heard of it, never watched the trailer, nothing, and I walked away from this experience extremely satisfied and honestly pretty upset with myself that I hadn't watched this amazing movie until now. I think this has to be one of the most enlightening, thoughtful, and emotional journeys that I've ever experienced in a film. At the conclusion of this story, I felt like I'd been through a whirlwind of emotions and ups and downs with these characters that feel extremely vivid. In other words, I feel like I was on tour with Stillwater and the other characters experiencing these insane highs and lows and growing with them. This story really does come full circle, and by the time the journey loops all the way back around, it feels like the characters have learned so much not only about themselves, but about friendship and generally the things that we often take for granted in life. I really love this story because the fact that it's set in 1973 really changes everything. Seeing these characters live their lives in ways that seem incredibly foreign, at least in my eyes, to people in 2017 was really captivating and kind of emotional for me, because these characters are way more concerned about living in the here and now than anyone I've ever met in my entire life. Almost all of them deal with stress and the realities of the real world in ways that at least feel very different from how we do in 2017. I really enjoyed seeing these people live the rock and roll lifestyle because although it certainly has its fair share of highs and lows, the movie managed to kind of make me feel like I wanted to live in 1973 because it seemed like a simpler time. While these characters are certainly dealing with their own forms of stress and having to face the realities of the outside world just like we do today, these particular people generally have a much more optimistic outlook and seem to take everything in stride, and that was honestly really refreshing and cool to watch. Watching these characters grow alongside one another and build relationships that last forever is something that very few select films are able to pull off in a way that feels genuine, but Almost Famous does it with absolute grace and complete ease because like I said, they managed to make me feel like I was on tour and I grew right alongside these characters, and they somehow managed to make me feel nostalgic for 1973, and I wasn't even alive then, so. And if you didn't already know, this film is chock full of incredible talent. Almost all of these actors went on to have incredible careers. Let's just run through the list real quick. Billy Crudup as lead guitarist Russell Hammond, Frances McDormand as Elaine, William's mother, Kate Hudson as Penny Lee, Jason Lee as lead singer Jeff Beebe, Zooey Deschanel as Anita, William's sister, Jimmy Fallon as manager Dennis Hope, Rainn Wilson as Rolling Stone writer David Felton, and Philip Seymour Hoffman as William's mentor of sorts Lester Bangs. All of these actors are just as incredible in this film as you'd expect them to be, which makes sense because almost all of them went on to become household names and very respected actors. But the two that I was completely blown away by were Kate Hudson and Billy Crudup. They stole the show for me. This is definitely the best performance that I've ever seen from Kate Hudson, who has always been a very good actress in my eyes, but in Almost Famous she is amazingly good. Every single time she's on screen, she's pretty damn captivating because her character is just so incredibly likable and admirable in a lot of ways. She showed off some serious ability here that I didn't even know she was capable of because she never really gets in roles like these. So honestly, I'd love to see her in more roles like this because she was so great in this film. And Billy Crudup, who really just might be the most underrated actor in Hollywood right now, is great in this film too. Every single time I see him in a movie, I always say to myself, wow, Billy Crudup was really good in this movie. This dude needs more roles like Russell Hammond that allow him to showcase his versatility as an actor, because really you could argue that he's right there with William and Penny as the most important character in this film. He gets a ton of screen time, and this film would not be nearly as good without such a compelling performance from Billy Crudup. This dude was freaking fantastic and delivered an unforgettable, possibly career-defining performance here. As if I didn't already have enough great things to say about this film, here are two more: the music and the cinematography. The music is perfectly selected and placed to really capture the feel and grittiness of the 1970s rock and roll lifestyle. The soundtrack is chock full of timeless hits that really get you into the groove of this story and overall lifestyle in a way that's incredibly immersive. You're gonna feel so rock and roll role after listening to this music. And the cinematography is really great too. There are a ton of shots that are actually pretty cool and really get you immersed into this journey and overall lifestyle just like the music does. This is one hell of a visual experience to go along with the other great elements. But overall, I really enjoyed this film. It's fantastic from start to finish. I thought it had an amazing story about love, life, and the pursuit of happiness, beautiful acting from an all-star cast, fantastic music that really captures the tone of the story, and great cinematography that allows for full immersion. And there was nothing I didn't like about this film. I'm going to give Almost Famous a 10 out of 10 and definitely recommend you watch this wherever you can for basically any and all movie lovers that are of age to watch an R-rated film. So did you guys see Almost Famous yet? What did you think of it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if not, let me know whether you'd be interested in watching this film or not. And as always, if you like this video, click that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for much more content like this. Thanks again to AV1138 for the request. Keep them coming, everyone. That's all for now, though. This is WillFoxification signing off. See you in the next review.